We're 3/4 of the way through the 2021-2022 NHL season. Let's go ahead and take a look at who the top 10 forwards are right now at just under 60 games in. We're going to use advanced analytics known as wins above replacement or WAR or goals above replacement called GAR. We're going to take a look at the wins above replacement category that the advanced stats nerds have had. We'll take a look at the top 10 on that list, and then we're going to use our trained coach's eye, and we're going to go ahead and add replacement players to there. By the end of the video, we're going to compare who the advanced analytics nerds think are the top 10 versus who Coach Ryan D thinks is the top 10 right now for forwards. There's going to be some big surprises on this list. Trust me, it is not just going to follow the simple points total. So stay tuned to the end of the video and find out if your favorite player makes the list. And don't forget, our channel is sponsored by BetUS.com. Head over to BetUS.com, use the code HGS or smash the link down below. You can take a look at the NHL odds for today, or you can join our homepage where you get a 125% deposit bonus for first-time players. What are you waiting for? I use BetUS myself. It's the best place you can go to bet on hockey today recreationally. Ensure you're over the age of majority in your state or province. Open to Canadian and U.S. citizens. Advanced analytics are a little bit controversial in the NHL because at the end of the day, we're evaluating an individual in a very large team game. And unlike baseball or football, it is not a stop-start game. It's an ebb and flow game. You can go minutes, 4 to 5 minutes to be exact, without stoppages of play. That can add to a whole bunch of different line conglomerations or mixed up players and mistakes all over the ice. But advanced analytics are still the best thing there is going today in terms of statistically evaluating the best player. So let's go ahead and start with the list, and that'll tell you who my replacement is. Number 10 on this list is Brad Marchand. The analytics community loves this guy. He comes in with a wins above replacement at 2.9 and a goals above replacement at 16.5. That's a super productive player. His defensive statistical category is 4.2. He's got 57 points on the season. 23 of them are goals. Goals matter. This is a defensive phenom. Not only does he score, but he plays defense. There's no surprise he comes in at number 10. However, Coach Ryan D is going to replace him with Matthew Tkachuk on this list. You can see Marchand outstats him, and of course he's going to. We're talking about the stats list first. But at the end of the day, what Tkachuk brings to a team cannot be measured. He's an agitator. He's a team first guy. Everybody hates playing against him, but you want to have him on your team. He's an absolutely elite player that's going to smash $10 million contract or just under that. And he's got 27 goals. Number 9 is David Pastrnak. Again, the analytics community loves the Bruins, and they should. The Bruins are one of the top teams in the NHL this year. Stats-wise, he comes in with a wins above replacement at 3.0. His goals above replacement is at 17.1. Makes sense. He's a goal-scoring machine. His defense is pretty good at 1.8, so he is no slouch on the back end, but plays with Bergeron and Marchand, two of the best in the game. His points are 60. His goals are 33. Now, who would Coach Ryan D replace Pasternak with? It's simple. Brad Marchand. Look, I like Pastrnak. I like the extra 10 goals that he adds. He's definitely the future of the Bruins. But right now, this is Bergeron and Marchand's team. Marchand, you cannot ignore the defensive capabilities of Brad Marchand. Look, he may be a pest. He may get suspended all the time. But just like Matthew Tkachuk, you cannot undersell the agitator factor. Everybody is looking for Marchand on the ice, so Marchand moves up one spot in Coach Ryan D's eyes. Number 8 in the analytics community is Jason Robertson of the Dallas Stars. If you've been sleeping on Dallas, you've been sleeping under a rock. These guys could make some noise in the playoffs from the wild card position. He's got one of the best wins above replacement at 3.2. His goals above replacement is at 18.4. That's massive. The guy's a monster. His defense is solid, right up there with the likes of David Pastrnak, and he's got 54 points and 29 goals. This is a hyper productive player. But would Coach Ryan D replace him on this list? You betcha. I'd replace him with Alexander Barkov. I think he's a very underrated player in the analytics community, and we got to use our eye test and some common sense here. Barkov comes in with great stats of his own. He has less games than Robertson. He's put up more points. And let's talk about two other key categories besides his leadership. 2 minutes and 9 seconds. That's the amount of time Barkov spends on the penalty kill per game. That is absolutely incredible. He's one of their go-to penalty kill guys that shows you this guy can get it done in all areas of the ice. Power play, penalty kill, offense, and defense. He's got a 56% face-off win percentage. You always got to give a little bit of a nudge to the organic centerman over the wingers. Sorry, winger fans. Centers are more important. Number 7 on this list is a massive surprise. It's Connor McDavid. The Konami cheat code in the analytics community is only number 7. We just made a video that we'll link to you at the end of this one talking about, is Matthews better than McDavid? Well, Connor McDavid is number 7 according to wins above replacement right now at 3.3. That's still dominant, but shocking. Absolutely shocking for the NHL points leader. Look, goals above replacement is at 18.5. What's holding him back is the fact that 5-on-5, he is not productive as many people on this list. That's mind-blowing. I know he gets most of it done on the power play. His defense lacks as well. He's only 0.6 in terms of defensive categories, but you cannot ignore the fact that he has 81 points and he is the best skating and most talented player in the NHL, bar none. So would Coach Ryan D replace this guy? You bet he would. I'd go ahead and put in Patrice Bergeron at this point. And before, if you're wondering if McDavid's going to show back up on this list, stay tuned to the end of the video. He probably is. But for now, Bergeron falls into my number 7 spot. Look, Patrice Bergeron's got one of the best face-off percentages in the NHL. He is the best hard stop defensive forward in the NHL. He'll win another Selke this year. He is above guys like Auston Matthews and other people on this list in terms of pure defense. He may not put up the point totals, but he puts up good point totals, and the amount of pucks he keeps out of his net cannot be underestimated. Patrice Bergeron is still elite, and if you don't understand that, then you don't understand hockey, but that doesn't mean you can't be a fan. We all love offense, but this guy is the definition of a two-way player. Number 6 from the stats community is Elias Lindholm.
Hello, I am Elias.
Elias Lindholm has a great wins above replacement at 3.3. His goals above replacement is at 18.8. Look, you'll notice these wins above replacement and goals above replacement, they're tight. They're close. That's why this is an objective list. You go ahead, you look at his defense, it's solid. Would you expect anything else from a Daryl Sutter coached player, especially a first line centerman? You got to have good defense if you're playing for Sutter. His points are 61. His goals are 29. Outside of Bergeron, I'd have to say Elias Lindholm is one of the better defensive forwards in the league. He's definitely in the top 6. He kills a lot of penalties. This guy's just been a revelation for the Flames. There's no wonder the Flames are on top and a Stanley Cup favorite. But would Coach Ryan D go ahead and replace Elias Lindholm? No. Elias Lindholm is number 6 by the advanced stats. Elias Lindholm is number 6 in my books. They got this one right. Number 5 is incredibly surprising. It's Michael Bunting. Like this, that's it. Everybody's throwing out their notebooks. Michael Bunting's the 5th best player in the NHL. Bull. That. I'm out. Don't talk to me about it anymore. That is what some people at home are saying, but he's number 5 according to advanced stats. Stats don't lie. They don't have any bias. You have a bias. I have a bias. Numbers have no bias. So get over it. He's number 5 in the NHL, and he's part of the most productive line offensively in the NHL, the Matthews line. Wins above replacement, 3.4. Goals above replacement, 19.4. Might have something to do with the fact that he was not expected to score that many goals, but hey, it is what it is. Solid defensively at 1.5, right up there with Lindholm. He's only got 47 points only, and he's got 20 goals. The Calder Trophy candidate, possible Rookie of the Year, Michael Bunting, is number 5 according to the nerds with spreadsheets. Would I replace him though? You're darn right I would, and that's why we're doing this exercise. I'd replace him with Mikko Rantanen, one of the best wingers in the NHL right now. He's got a wins above replacement better than Bunting. He's just better than Bunting. He's elite. Let's call a spade a spade. Rantanen is the definition of elite. Bunting's a huge surprise. He's out of here. Rantanen's in at 5. Speaking of Colorado Avalanche, number 4 is Nazem Kadri. Excuse me while I go throw up for a minute. This guy's trash. But when it comes to statistics, he's having the best year of his life right now. Wins above replacement, 3.5. Goals above replacement, 19.7. 72 points on the year. Even Steven, totally replaceable on defense, not good or bad, and he's got 22 goals. So Kadri comes in at number 4. And would I replace Kadri? You bet your ass I would, and I wouldn't even keep him on this list. He's getting replaced by Jonathan Huberdeau. I love Jonathan Huberdeau. Look, 82 points right now at this point in the season. Jonathan Huberdeau makes the largest jump from statistics into the top 4. You cannot keep 82 points off this list, in my opinion, and the number 1 winger of one of the best teams, if not the best team in the NHL off this list. That would be ludicrous, ridiculous. Huberdeau is coming in at number 4, but take a note to this. This is a bit of a stretch according to the analytics community. He moved up almost 28 spots. That's insane. And that is because his defense is porous. He is like Swiss cheese when it comes to defense. So yes, he puts up points, but he does cause a lot of goals against. That's what happens when you're pushing for high danger chances. So Huberdeau and Barkov from the Panthers get bumped up and make this list. They were not initially on it. Panther fans, I don't know if that means you should be worried or not worried going into the playoffs. You let me know down below in the comments. Number 3 on this list by the analytics community is Mikko Rantanen. So we lowered Rantanen. We saw him earlier on this list to number 5. They have him as number 3. Look, we're splitting hairs at this point when it's a top 10 list. They're all elite players. I love those comments down below. They're all elite players. Everybody can love them. You're right. They all are elite, but this is a fun exercise. So pound salt and comment that down below because it helps share this video. Give me a thumbs up too. Mikko Rantanen has a fantastic WAR, fantastic GAR, but we're going to replace him with Connor McDavid. McDavid is not number 7. McDavid cannot fall out of the top 3. Bottom line, the Konami cheat code comes in at number 3. He moves up this, so we end up moving McDavid up. We end up moving Rantanen down. That just leaves us with the top 2. Wonder who it could be. Number 2 is no surprise. I don't think it's Johnny Gaudreau. As soon as you saw McDavid come in at number 3, you knew Johnny Gaudreau had to come in here at number 2. He's got one of the best wins above replacement in the NHL. He's got one of the best goals above replacement in the NHL. And yes, if you're counting, I have Tkachuk, I have Gaudreau, and I have Lindholm all in this list in the top 10. The Calgary Flames first line isn't fair. And that's the way she goes. You may be wondering, where's Mitch Marner? Where's Leon Draisaitl? Hey, this line statistically is one of the best in the NHL. So he ends up making the list. 77 points, 26 goals. And the reason he's so high on this list is Gaudreau gets it done 5-on-5. He is the second leading man in the NHL in 5-on-5 points for. He is dangerous 5-on-5, and 5-on-5 matters a ton when you're looking at individual stats. So Gaudreau comes in at number 2. And would I replace him? No, Gaudreau holds at number 2. So the stats got him at 2. I got him at 2. Finally, your number 1 on this list is Auston Matthews. No surprise here. He's got one of the best defensive pedigrees right now in the NHL, according to the advanced analytics community. It's all people can talk about online or on TV is about his defense. He's got very solid defensive presence this year. His wins above replacement is higher than anyone else in the NHL. His goals above replacement is higher than anyone else in the NHL. That's because he scores like crazy. The NHL leading goal scorer. There's no reason not to have Matthews number 1 at this point in time. Auston Matthews is the best in the NHL 3/4 of the way through. No way Coach Ryan D is replacing this guy. Now, you heard me mention a couple other guys that were honorable mentions. Where's Leon Draisaitl? Everybody wants to talk about Leon Draisaitl every time I turn this on, like I've offended people. Well, Leon Draisaitl is the 48th ranked player in the league when it comes to advanced analytics. And I know I moved Huberdeau up because of points, but at the end of the day, Huberdeau plays on a way better team than Leon Draisaitl does. So he had to move up. Draisaitl is on a team that is scraping and clawing to go ahead and make it into the playoff picture. I think Draisaitl is a great player. I have him just outside the top 10 right now. If I was drafting a team though, like starting brand new, Draisaitl would be one of the top 4 picks I ended up making. Not crazy. I'm just telling you where I feel the NHL is right now at this point in time, not taking into account age and other things like that. So he's number 48. Tough beans, tough bananas, tough titties. He just wasn't good enough in advanced stats, and I couldn't find a way to bump him into my own lineup. So if you hate that take, turn off the old YouTubes and move on. But there is sound reason why he's not there. Like I said, stats aren't biased. They are pure numbers on a sheet, mathematically calculated. Couple other guys that don't make the list. Mitch Marner, he comes in at about number 17 overall. I love Marner a lot. Didn't bump him into one of the 10 people I chose. Gabe Landeskog. Sidney Crosby is out there. Ovechkin is out there. MacKinnon is out there. There are a lot of names. There's lots of names. But I do believe that these statistics make some sense and they need some alterations. They're a really good way, and I use them as good practice to go ahead and look and see if my biases are getting in the way. And sometimes these lead me to go take deeper looks at players, deeper dives. And the best NHL teams right now have a balance between coaches that have an eye test and scouts that have an eye test and advanced analytics. If you don't have an advanced analytics team looking at this as an NHL team, you're not a top contending team. Hard stop. So teams are big into this now because it works. They're paying millions of dollars a year because it works. So if you don't think it works, that's fine, but you don't work or make millions of dollars working for NHL teams. So the teams would tell you they're wrong. I would tell you you're wrong. You got to use the balance approach of I as well as this. Hey, you let me know if I got it right down below. Tell me what you would change up in your own list. I want to see everybody's top 10 list. Smash it down below in the comments and check out one of these other videos from us here at Hot Garbage Sports.